Filler words are a common communication dilemma that can crop up without you realizing it during meetings, presentations, or general conversations. When they're used occasionally, filler words don't pose such a problem, but when they are overused, filler words can have a damaging impact on you as a professional. They can diminish your credibility because if you know your content, then you shouldn't need to use filler words to take up space while you're thinking of what to say next. They can dilute your message because your listener will be focusing on your filler words rather than listening to your key points, your stories, or your intelligent research. They can make you sound nervous because filler words are commonly used by people who are experiencing hesitancy, uncertainty, or fear when they're communicating. And as a leader, you probably want to avoid all of these things. So in this video, we're going to be looking purely at filler words to help you reduce the frequency at which you use them so you can improve your overall communication as a leader. What are filler words? Here are some examples. We have like, you know, so, right, well, all right. Basically, they are words or sounds that we use in our communication to fill in the empty space while we're thinking of what to say next. But they can also crop up as a giveaway to our nervousness, to indicate that we're not done talking yet, or to help us sound more casual. As I mentioned before, filler words, when they're used here and there in your communication, they don't pose such a problem. It's the overuse of filler words in your communication. It's when they're used multiple times in your communication that they become problematic. So how do I, get rid of filler words? How do I stop saying them? Because I don't even notice when I use them, Now, did that make me sound like a competent and confident professional? Probably not. When trying to eliminate or avoid filler words in your communication, the first thing you need to do is to identify what filler words you use and how often you use them. This requires you to become more aware of your communication and to look at it from an external perspective. You could try to identify filler words yourself in real time as you speak, although this is a bit more difficult to do. You could ask a trusted colleague to monitor you as you communicate and to identify if you use filler words and how often you use them. Or you could choose to record yourself speaking for a couple of minutes, listen back to that recording, and identify the filler words that you use. Personally, I recommend the record yourself method. I find that there's a lot less pressure when you use this method, and you don't have to bother anyone else by asking them to monitor your speech. And the beauty of recording yourself is that you can do it with your phone. Now, most phones have some kind of audio recording function on them, so you can use that, record yourself using the audio recording, and then listen back to it to identify your filler words. Or you could use the video option as well. Now, the benefit of using the video option is that when you video yourself, you can probably pick up various body language gestures that you use that make you look like you are not confident in that situation, which is something that filler words are usually a giveaway for. If you're wondering what to talk about on your recording, well, here are a couple of ideas. You can talk about your day at work. What happened today at work? Or you can talk about your career journey, talk about how you got to where you are today. Aim to talk for at least 60 seconds, no more than 3 minutes. And try to talk without notes because you really want to tap into the spontaneous speaking, because it's when you use this spontaneous speaking where the filler words are more likely to creep up. So that is when you're going to be able to spot those filler words, spot when you use them, what filler words you use, and how often you use them too. Once you have done your recording, then you need to listen back to that recording. And for this, I recommend that you use a piece of paper, get out a piece of paper and actually record the filler words that you pick up as you are listening back to your recording. Write down what words you use and write down how often you use them. After you've become more aware of your communication and you've identified the filler words that you use, then you need to work on replacing them. And the most effective thing that you can replace filler words with is the pause. The pause is an effective communication tool to use, especially if you're trying to position yourself as an emerging leader, because the pause makes you sound thoughtful, focused, and confident. It's what influential and articulate speakers use in their communication, whether they are making a speech, giving an interview, or talking in a meeting. Normally, when I recommend for people to use the pause, a common response is, I don't want people to jump into the conversation and interrupt me. I get it. This is a common fear when you're using the pause. If you leave an open space in the conversation, you are naturally going to be worried about other people thinking that you've already finished what you're saying and that they can jump in with their own thoughts. So what I recommend for you to do to avoid this dilemma is when you are using the pause, try to use a body language gesture to go with that pause at the same time to indicate that you are not done speaking and they can't interrupt you just yet. For example, one of my favorite gestures to use is the pointed finger. You can use the pointed finger while you are thinking of what to say, to indicate to others that you're not quite finished talking yet and they need to wait. You can also make sure that you maintain eye contact with the other person that you're talking to or the person who was most likely to interrupt you. Maintain eye contact with them to indicate with the body language gesture, the pointed finger or the hand like this, to indicate that you are not done talking and that they need to wait until you finish before they jump in with their thoughts. How long should you pause for? This is a common question people ask. I recommend that you pause between 2 to 5 seconds. It really depends on the environment that you are speaking in. So in casual conversations, I recommend that you pause for say 2 to 3 seconds on the shorter side, because casual conversations are generally fast paced and people might be a lot quicker at interrupting you. If you are doing a public speaking engagement, a presentation, for example, you can probably go up to 5 seconds with your pause because people's attention is on you and only you, and it's very unlikely that they're going to interrupt you as you are presenting because you are the one on stage. It will feel awkward to use the pause at first, but over time, you will build up the confidence within yourself to use the pause more and more in your communication. And as you do that, over time, you will start to see and to realize the benefits of using the pause. You'll start to see the reactions of other people when you use the pause over filler words in your communication. After you have identified whether you use filler words and after you have replaced those filler words with a pause, the next thing you need to do is to monitor your progress. This is an important step and one that most people don't do because it does take a bit of extra time and effort to put into it. But it is extremely helpful in ensuring your communication, the shift in your communication, is complete and lasting. Because change takes time. It's easy to fall back into your old habits. It's easy to identify whether you use filler words, to replace the filler words with a pause, and to do that for a couple of days. But after that, your focus is probably shifted and you'll revert back to your old habits. If you want a lasting and complete shift in your communication away from filler words, then you will need to monitor your progress over time. And this is how you do it. After 1 week of identifying and replacing filler words in your communication, I want you to record yourself again, speaking for at least 3 minutes. Talk about one of these 3 topics. Describe the first job you had. What is your dream job? Why did you become the professional you are now? Jot down some bullet point notes about what you want to talk about, then hit record on your phone and record yourself speaking for 3 minutes straight. The aim for this activity is to avoid using filler words and to replace those filler words with a pause and also with body language gestures. Because of the body language gesture component, I do recommend that you video yourself for this activity. Then, as you did previously, you need to watch the recording and identify whether you use filler words. If you do use filler words in your communication, then you need some more practice. So watch this video again. If you don't use filler filler words, then congratulations, you have successfully eliminated filler words from your communication and you have replaced them with a pause and with body language gestures. Let me know in the comments, what filler words do you use most often? I think it will be really helpful for all of us watching to know what filler words are common for people to use. If you liked this video, please hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more content like this every week. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I release a new video. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in next week's video.